said, with you growing and having different versions of yourself, that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with outgrowing other people and their different versions of themselves. Hey babes, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm bringing you guys a video that I just randomly was thinking about. I have a lot of topics that I feel like I could talk to you guys about. It's not really like in my journey series, which actually I might include it because it is about growth, growing as a person, growing character, outgrowing, just a lot of different things. I just started thinking about how as we're getting older, you know, and this is for men, this is for women, just as you're getting older, you start to realize things that are harder to do or more difficult, and, you know, trying to figure out like, why are these things more difficult? And one of the biggest things that has been on my mind is just like friendships, relationships with people, and outgrowing people, you know, which I feel like has such a negative connotation to it, but it really shouldn't be. Like, it really should not be a negative thing. It should just, it's something that comes along with life. If you guys see that I'm so dressed up, I'm actually about to go hang out with one of my friends, and we're going to go do content and grab dinner, and so that's why I'm so dressed up. But yeah, the outgrowing friendships and the stigma that's behind that. And I feel like I've been seeing a lot of memes, you know, that a lot of times when you say that you're outgrowing someone, whether you're outgrowing a situation, if you're outgrowing a person, let me go turn off this TV because I don't know if y'all can hear it in the background, but all these negative thoughts around outgrowing things, and it's kind of like people use the term outgrowing as shade, and I honestly really hate that. Like, I genuinely hate that, or let me not say hate, because hate is such a strong word, but I don't like things that are meant to make other people feel bad or meant to put other people down. There's nothing wrong with having an opinion on something. That's your opinion and that's how you feel, but don't use that to put other people down. And I feel like that's how these quotes have been, you know, centered around is, I'm outgrowing old people, you know, I'm outgrowing, or you're basically making it seem like you're better than people, or you're better than a situation, you know. And I don't think that that is the best way to think about outgrowing friendships. When you outgrow people, it just means that you're in two different spaces in your life and you want two different things. We grow as people, you know. So let's just think about ourselves individually. I'm growing as a person, right? The person that I was when I was 21 years old is not the person that I am as a 26-year-old. It's not the person I'm gonna be as a 30-year-old. You know, and it has nothing to do with maturity. It's just between 5 years, you go through a lot. So within every year, a couple of months, you could go through things that make you change who you are as a person, how you feel, how you think. I know me as a person, there are, you know, very key tragic trauma moments in my life that have changed who I am drastically, that even if I was a certain type of person before that incident, I am forever changed from those experiences, you know. And I don't think it's fair for us to hold each other to past versions of ourselves. With that being said, with you growing and having different versions of yourself, that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with outgrowing other people and their different versions of themselves. You can meet somebody and one day y'all are thick as thieves, and then the next day y'all just don't mesh anymore because there might be something that has changed within you personally, individually, you know, that makes you just not compatible anymore. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, I've had my fair share of that, and you have to learn how to kind of make peace with those situations. I mean, obviously it's how you go about it. You know, you don't want to hurt people in the process, but when you are just outgrowing people, don't make yourself feel bad for it, and also don't make them feel bad for it. Key things that you have to remember are that naturally as humans, we are attracted to people that are like-minded. I mean, the whole phrase birds of a feather flock together, it is true. You're not meaning to, and you might like hanging out with people that, you know, are opposite sometimes, but most of the time you're gonna want to like people that like to do the same thing as you. You know, that's how you build a connection. We're spending time together, or we like to talk about the same things, or we have similar backgrounds, same stories. Commonality is what connects you to people, okay? Like, it's easier for you to get closer to somebody, especially on a deeper level. You know, if you can relate to someone, relatability is key. Two people can be complete opposites and they have that one thing, something, and it doesn't even have to be something huge. It could be one thing. You know, I've connected with people off of just the fact that I like to travel. We're complete opposites. I'm young, they old. I'm black, they white. I'm fucking loud, they quiet. It doesn't matter. You know, you can have all these different personality traits that are differences, completely different backgrounds. It doesn't matter. And just the fact that you enjoy traveling, boom, there's that one commonality that's like, oh, where have you been? You know, would you go here? You know, it's just like conversation commonalities, activity commonalities. It really doesn't matter. Commonality brings us together. And I didn't mean to go off on a tangent on that, but just to kind of show you that it's nothing wrong with not wanting to spend time with someone because they're doing things that you don't like doing. It's nothing wrong with not wanting to talk to somebody because the things that they talk about, you just don't enjoy talking about those things. You don't have to put them down for that. Just because someone is talking about something that you don't like doesn't mean that you don't like them. You just don't like talking about those things. So you can talk to people who enjoy talking about what you like talking about. And, you know, maybe even try to talk to the person, be like, hey, I, you know, don't really enjoy talking about this. And, you know, if that's just who they are and they're always going to talk about that, then yeah, you know, maybe try to reconsider that, you know, friendship. And there's different levels to friendship as well. Not every friendship has to be you're talking to that person on the phone all day every day. You can have some friends that you just like to hang out with them in a group setting. You can have some friends that you just like to go out with them. There's not really much talking involved. It really doesn't matter. But naturally, we're gonna gravitate towards people that are like-minded. And I think that you have to keep that in mind when you're starting to grow and change. I guess the biggest thing is don't take it personally, okay? Just don't take it personally. And I've had to learn this. I've had to go through this. I've had to, trust me, one thing about me is that I am the queen of making mistakes, okay? And having experiences, whether good or bad, and going through things. But one thing for sure is that I learn from them, okay? So I am not gonna sit up here and talk to you guys and give advice or give opinions on things that I have not personally went through myself, you know, like things that I've personally done to people or things that I have personally had done to me. And that's how I have the experience to be able to talk about it, okay? Like, don't take it personally. If you feel like you're outgrowing someone, don't think too much on it. If you feel like you need to go and you feel like this friendship, this relationship, if you feel like you're outgrowing it, you have to put yourself first, okay? I gotta put me first. I gotta put me first. I hate that TikTok has done this to me, okay? But like, you have to move on. And there's one saying in particular my grandpa said to me years ago, and I literally, it sticks with me because it's the realest shit I've ever heard, is that the only thing that's constant is change. And we're all gonna change, okay? We're going to grow. And sometimes we can't help that the people that are in our lives may not be a part of the new version of ourselves. I have grown apart from people and grown back towards them. And something about when we met each other that second time was just so much better than even how we were the first time. And when you grow apart from people, that space, you know, that time is uncomfortable because you're used to having a certain type of relationship with that person. And that's another thing, is that when you grow back towards someone, don't expect for things to be exactly the same. Y'all were two different people, you know, the first time. You're different now. Even if you're exactly the same and somebody comes back to you different, that's a different relationship. That's almost as if they're a new person. We're constantly rebirthing through our experiences. So I just feel like you have to learn how to not take it personally. You know, you're gonna have moments where you feel like somebody left you in the dust, left you for dead, or however you feel like it. You know, you're gonna feel like this person just up and dip, and it's going to hurt because you love that person. So it is gonna hurt, that absence. And I think that when you can sit down and really just take your emotions out of it and understand it, just don't take it so personally, you know, whether it was something that you were doing, whether it was something with that person within themselves, whatever it was, the space needed to be had, or else it wouldn't have happened, you know, because the decision was made. So you have to not take it personally if you feel like someone has left you, and don't let yourself feel bad. Don't always assume that if someone removed themselves from your relationship that you did something. You know, you don't have to do anything. Sometimes we just grow apart. And I don't think that you should overanalyze it. I mean, if you need to take a look within, take the look. And if you feel like, you know, hey, I feel like a good person, I feel like I'm working on myself, I don't feel like I did anything to this person, then it's just that. Y'all just grew apart. And let me tell you something. You're gonna be the one leaving people sometimes, okay? You might not have done it yet, you might not know it yet, but you are going to outgrow people. There's gonna be something within you that you just feel like this relationship is not bettering you and it's not sustaining you. Sometimes you might feel like it's making you feel worse. And there is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with feeling like you need to take a break from something. You just have to think about it as in making the decision to not force things. If you feel like you are outgrowing a situation, any advice that I could give you is to just let it go. Be graceful, be peaceful, you know, don't fight, don't argue. I mean, don't anything that feels negative, all of these negative emotions, just let it go. Just walk away, you know? And if something is truly meant, if you're truly meant to have that person in your life, you will. Like, people have crazy ways of finding each other, you know, in different spaces and geographic locations and everything. Let me tell you something. If there's somebody that's meant for you, whether it's a relationship or a friendship, that person will find you or you'll find them. It's just gonna happen. And you have to not look at things like, oh, because me and this person, we are just not meshing right now, like we don't get along or we don't like each other, or, you know, this is toxic. No, y'all just don't mix. Y'all not meshing right now. Like, things about us change. You might be super introverted and then there was a reason why you were like that, and you work on yourself and you realize, wow, I wasn't even really introverted, I was just scared. And then you're extroverted, and now that extroverted version of yourself doesn't mesh with some of your introverted friends that are genuinely truly just introverted because that's how they are, right? You see what I mean? You see where I'm going with this? So some situations are just not that deep, and this is one of them. We all grow, and that's a commonality that we have. That's something that every single one of us can relate to, is that we're growing constantly. Every single day, every different experience is changing us. So with that being said, don't think that everything is toxic. It's okay. Toxic situations do exist. Toxic people are a real thing. Sometimes we can have toxic traits within ourselves. Trust me, been there, done that. It's a real thing, but it's a different thing. So if y'all want a video on how to spot toxic relationships, get away from toxic people, fix toxic traits within yourself, I got you. I can help you with that, but it's a completely different thing than just outgrowing people. So I kind of just wanted to talk to y'all a little bit, and it felt good to talk to y'all. I obviously, as always, love when you give me feedback, when you comment down, we have a conversation, when you follow me on Instagram at Danae Janice. I'll put my Instagram here because I do get some messages from you guys, and it's a good feeling, and I love the little community that we have built. So yeah, I feel like I just got super awkward because I don't know. I love y'all. As always, if you have any suggestions for videos, please comment down below. Let me know what you want to see. Like if you like this video, share, give me some exposure, subscribe so you can be a vacay bae, and I will see you guys in the next video. Love ya.